Emily Carter wasn't just another college student juggling her classes and a part-time job at McDonald's on Pinecrest Drive. Her quiet demeanor often masked a depth of kindness and empathy that she carried with her every day. She wasn't one to seek attention or praise. She believed in letting her actions speak louder than her words. It was a quiet Wednesday afternoon, the kind where the hum of the fryer and the faint chatter of customers created a background rhythm to the mundane. Emily had just finished preparing a fresh batch of fries when the door jingled open. She glanced up, her eyes landing on a young man who stepped inside with an air of hesitation. Barron Trump. He wasn't wearing the polished suit and tie that many associated with his family. Instead, he looked like any other teenager, dressed in casual clothes, his demeanor slightly uneasy as he approached the counter. Emily's trained eye caught his subtle discomfort, the kind of awkwardness that came with feeling out of place. He placed his order, fumbling slightly as he reached into his pocket. That's when she saw it, the moment his expression shifted to dismay. His wallet wasn't there. Emily didn't hesitate. Without a second thought, she reached for her debit card and slid it through the reader. The transaction beeped, and she handed Barron his tray with a warm smile. "Don't worry about it," she whispered gently. Her tone carried no judgment, only reassurance. Barron's eyes widened with gratitude, but he said little as he took the tray. For Emily, the act was small and instinctual, not something she expected to dwell on. To her, it was just the right thing to do. What Emily didn't realize was that her simple gesture would set off a chain of events that would change her life. She had unknowingly helped the youngest son of Donald Trump, a teenager who had ventured out that day seeking a moment of independence. The incident, though brief, left a deep impression on Barron. Weeks later, within the grand halls of Horizon Manor, Barron sat across from his father, recounting the story of the young woman at McDonald's. "She didn't hesitate, Dad," Barron said earnestly. "She just helped me. No questions asked. She didn't even know who I was." Donald Trump leaned back in his chair, listening intently. While the world often saw him as a figure of power and controversy, moments like this reminded him of the values he held close. "What's her name?" he asked. "Emily," Barron replied. "She works at the Pinecrest Drive McDonald's." Trump's mind raced. He wasn't one to let good deeds go unnoticed, especially when they involved his family. "We're going to pay her a visit," he declared. His team quickly set the plan into motion, ensuring the visit would be a surprise. "No press," Trump instructed firmly. "This isn't about publicity. It's about her." The day arrived like any other for Emily. She was busy managing the lunch rush, her apron dusted with flour, her focus on getting orders out promptly. She didn't notice the fleet of luxury vehicles pulling into the parking lot until a hush fell over the restaurant. The usual clatter of trays and chatter of customers faded into silence. Emily looked up, her heart skipping a beat. Walking through the doors was none other than Donald Trump, flanked by security. His presence was commanding, yet not overbearing. "Is Emily Carter here?" Trump's voice carried through the room, warm and inviting despite its authority. Emily hesitated, her mind racing. Slowly, she stepped forward. "That's me," she said, her voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions swirling within her. Trump extended his hand with a genuine smile. "Emily, I've heard a lot about you from my son, Barron. You did something remarkable that day, and we're here to thank you." Barron stepped forward, his shy smile breaking through his reserved demeanor. "I never forgot what you did for me," he said sincerely. "Thank you." Emily's cheeks flushed, and she stammered, "It was nothing, really. Just helping out." "It wasn't nothing," Trump said firmly. He gestured to one of his aides, who handed Emily a sleek envelope. Inside was an educational grant to cover her remaining college expenses, along with a handwritten note from Barron. "We want to make sure you have every opportunity to achieve your dreams," Trump added, his voice steady with conviction. The room erupted into applause. Emily, overwhelmed, felt tears welling in her eyes. "I don't know what to say," she murmured. Trump chuckled softly. "Just keep being the wonderful person you are. That's more than enough." As the luxury vehicles left the parking lot, Emily stood at the door clutching the envelope, her co-workers and customers congratulating her. In her heart, she knew this moment wasn't just a reward. It was a powerful reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness could create ripples far beyond what she could have imagined. What do you think about Emily's story? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The buzz surrounding Emily's story spread far beyond the walls of the Pinecrest Drive McDonald's. Within hours of Trump's visit, customers who had witnessed the event began sharing their accounts online. Social media exploded with praise for Emily's selflessness and the unexpected gratitude shown by the Trump family. Hashtags like "Kindness Matters" and "Emily, the hero" began trending, turning her into an overnight sensation. But Emily, grounded as always, continued her routine. She showed up for her shifts, attended her college classes, and tried her best to navigate the sudden attention. Yet, beneath her composed exterior, she couldn't help but reflect on how her life had changed in such a short span of time. The kindness she had offered without a second thought was now being celebrated on a global scale, and it left her both humbled and overwhelmed. One evening, as Emily returned home from a particularly long shift, she found a package waiting at her doorstep. Inside was a handwritten letter from Barron Trump. The note was simple, yet heartfelt. "Emily, your kindness reminded me that even in the smallest gestures, we have the power to change someone's day, or even their life. Thank you for being the kind of person who acts without expecting anything in return. I hope this small gift helps you as much as you helped me. Warm regards, Barron." Alongside the letter was a beautifully wrapped box containing a personalized gold necklace with her name engraved on it. Emily's eyes welled with tears as she held the gift. She had never sought recognition for her actions, but the sincerity behind Barron's gesture touched her deeply. Meanwhile, the story caught the attention of national news outlets, and requests for interviews began pouring in. Emily's manager at McDonald's approached her one day, an uncharacteristic smile on his face. "You've put this place on the map," he said. "Corporate wants to recognize you at the upcoming regional meeting. They're even talking about a scholarship program in your name." Emily's cheeks flushed. I don't know what to say," she stammered. "Just say yes," her manager said with a chuckle. "You've earned it." As the weeks passed, Emily's story continued to inspire. Strangers from across the country wrote letters, sharing how her simple act of kindness had reminded them of the good still present in the world. Some recounted their own moments of generosity, while others pledged to pay it forward in their communities. Despite the whirlwind of attention, Emily remained unchanged. She continued to treat every customer with the same warmth and respect that had defined her long before Barron Trump walked through the doors of McDonald's. For her, the true reward wasn't the applause or the recognition, it was knowing that she had made a difference, however small, in someone's life. But the ripples of her kindness were far from over. Unbeknownst to Emily, Donald Trump had one more surprise in store. A letter from the Trump Foundation arrived in her mailbox, inviting her to attend a gala in New York City as an honored guest. The letter hinted at something even greater than the educational grant she had already received. Emily read the invitation with a mix of excitement and disbelief. Little did she know, the gala would mark a turning point not just in her life, but in the lives of those who would hear her story and be inspired to act with the same selflessness she had shown on that quiet Wednesday afternoon. The grandeur of the New York City Gala was unlike anything Emily Carter had ever imagined. The Trump Foundation had spared no expense, transforming the grand ballroom into a spectacle of elegance. Chandeliers glittered like constellations above, and the air buzzed with the soft hum of conversation and the clinking of champagne glasses. Yet, amidst the opulence, Emily felt a quiet nervousness as she stepped inside. Her modest dress, a stark contrast to the sequined gowns and tailored tuxedos surrounding her. "Miss Carter," a voice called out. Turning, she saw Barron Trump approaching with a wide smile. "You made it," Emily nodded, her nerves momentarily eased by his warm welcome. "This is overwhelming," she admitted, glancing around the room. "You deserve every bit of it," Barron said. "And there's more to come. Follow me." He led her to the stage, where Donald Trump stood waiting, microphone in hand. The room fell silent as Trump began to speak. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, his voice steady and commanding, "tonight we celebrate a story that reminds us all of the power of kindness. Emily Carter, a young woman with a big heart, showed my son an act of generosity that most would overlook, and in doing so, she reminded us all of what truly matters." Trump gestured for Emily to join him on stage. The applause that erupted was deafening, yet Emily felt an overwhelming sense of humility as she stepped into the spotlight. Trump handed her a plaque engraved with her name, commemorating her act of kindness, but his next words left her speechless. "Emily," he continued, "the Trump Foundation is honored to announce the establishment of the Carter Scholarship Fund in your name. This fund will provide educational opportunities to students who, like you, embody the spirit of selflessness and compassion." Tears streamed down Emily's face as the audience rose to their feet in a standing ovation. She clutched the plaque to her chest, overwhelmed by the magnitude of the moment. "I don't know how to thank you," she said, her voice trembling. "You've already done enough," Trump replied. "Now it's our turn to give back." As the night wore on, Emily found herself surrounded by people eager to share how her story had inspired them. Strangers spoke of how they planned to pay it forward, touched by the ripple effect of her simple act. For Emily, it was a night of validation, a reminder that even the smallest gestures could ignite a spark of change in the world. By the end of the evening, as she stepped into the cool New York air, Emily felt a profound sense of gratitude. The journey that had begun in a humble McDonald's on Pinecrest Drive had brought her to this moment, a testament to the power of kindness and the unexpected ways it could transform lives. And as she looked up at the city lights, she knew that this was only the beginning. Emily Carter's story wasn't just hers anymore. It belonged to everyone who believed in the goodness of humanity and the boundless possibilities of compassion. How did Emily's journey inspire you? Share your thoughts in the comments below.